Hello, I returned to you with a new YouTube video with terrible lighting, with terrible camera quality, and yeah, that's all I have for you, and either you take it or you don't. But no, I felt like talking to a camera again, which is a little bit bizarre, because as of late, for a couple of months now, I didn't really feel like I had anything worth sharing. I didn't really feel like I had anything I wanted to talk about. Nothing I wanted to tell about, like, people about my life. Not because I wasn't living through exciting things, but just because I didn't feel like I needed to add to the noise. I feel like so many people on social media are talking constantly about what they do, what they go through, everything in their lives, everything in their day-to-day, that if I come around and tell you about how I feel about a certain thing, it just seems unimportant to me. Not in a way that makes my own experiences seem unimportant, but just in the way that I don't necessarily feel drawn to speaking about these things. And that also led me to doing a little bit of a social media detox, which is why I haven't been active anywhere much. The occasional post here and there. I always accessed Instagram through my browser, just to see what my friends were texting, if they were texting me anything, but I was never on the explore page or anything like that. Every now and then, like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, I would download the app again if I wanted to share something, like take a picture or something, or share a picture in my story. Never more than that. And like sharing posts in my story was still possible through the browser, so I didn't need the app for anything really. And that has led to me resorting to other things in order to like pass my time, which have been all the more fulfilling, whether that was mostly being with friends and mostly focusing on myself or on my hobbies. And that was actually really rewarding. But I don't necessarily would say that I feel like I'm out of the loop. I just feel like I don't want to be in the loop ever again. If that makes sense. I don't really see myself using Instagram the way I used it before anymore. Maybe I will. Maybe in a week or two that might already change again. But at the moment, the prospect of having it on my phone just does not seem very appealing to me, because I noticed that when I actually install it again and I actually scroll on my For You page or feed or whatever the fuck, within like 5 minutes, I feel like shit. Within 5 to 10 minutes, I feel like absolute garbage. Like my mental health plummets downward because I compare myself to like a million different people for a million different reasons. Even if just watching people's stories, whether it's experiencing FOMO, comparing my body to theirs, comparing my face to theirs, comparing my hair, my wealth, my clothes, being jealous of their accessories, being jealous of their trinkets, being jealous of literally anything that they might post about. I'm like, I completely become a shittier version of myself when I'm on social media, and I don't like that, and I don't really feel like feeding into that anymore. But you know, going on it through browser to answer my friends' DMs has worked out fine. I don't feel like deactivating my Instagram or anything of the sort, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like this format is more comfortable to me. But to get on the topic that I actually wanted to talk about, which is dating in your 20s and how frustrating that can be, as I would consider myself emotionally intelligent person, as a person that has done the work, that has done like the self-reflecting, the journaling, the time apart, the not relying on other people, the existing by yourself, as somebody that fulfills themselves just by being alone. Also, sorry, I have my hair curlers in my hair, don't mind that. Where was I going with this? Yeah, it's just hard to date with all of that in the back of my mind, and I wanted to talk about why that is, because it's been on my mind. It's been on my mind quite a lot, actually. So here's point number 1, which is craving connection, not commitment. At the moment, right now in my life, I know that I don't have time to invest in a partner. I wouldn't be able to give them what they need, and I think I would lose myself in the process if I tried, which means I have the tendency, and I am still scared about that. That's still something that I struggle with, but I become obsessed with my partner to the point where I will do anything for them, no matter how they treat me. And I know this now, and I've observed this now, and I am just awfully scared of falling back into a relationship where I'm doing most of the work, I'm doing most of the thinking, I'm planning every date. I remember anniversaries, I remember birthdays, and I'm the only one doing these things. It makes me deeply unhappy, and I was never able to point it out while I was in a relationship. But now, looking back, it's always been like that. I've always gone for people like that need almost something nurturing, something motherly from me, that I'm just no longer willing to give. So the prospect of entering a relationship scares me for that instance, because what if I end up with a person like that again? What if they demand so much of me, or I end up giving up so much of myself for them, that it just like lands back into this pattern? I also want to talk about mixed signals, which is my second point. Since I've been like in the dating world again after my breakup, being like 1.5 years ago now or something, of like a long-term relationship, I have been with people, and there's always like, I don't really know what it is, but I feel like my words are always twisted. I feel like people, I am a very extroverted person. I share a lot about my feelings. I share a lot about my thoughts, as I am doing right now. And people like to think that they know me so well, specifically like partners of any sort. They think if I say one thing, I mean another. And that is so frustrating. And it's happened so many times this year alone, like 2025 alone. It's happened like 3 or 4 times with people that I've been with. And it's just like, if I tell you, this is how I feel, this is how I work, this is what I want, don't tell me that that's not true. Don't tell me that you thought I was saying this or saying that when I wasn't, in fact. If I say, hey, I just want to be friends, hey, I'm not actively looking for a relationship, I don't want a relationship, I don't want to be with a man, whatever, you can't go ahead and like twist those words for me, you know. And that's happened a couple of times this year, and it's just so frustrating. And I don't know what I have to do, you know. All I'm doing is being completely honest with these people, and what I get in return is them trying to almost gaslight me into thinking that that's not how I actually feel, that maybe I was feeling like this way actually, or that way, or them suddenly actually having feelings for me, wanting more, after I completely specifically said that's not what I'm looking for at all. And then I have to have this conversation about me leading somebody on, when really I wasn't leading anybody on, right? I communicated from the very beginning, I don't want anything serious, I just want to be friends with somebody. And whatever, you know. And that's just like so frustrating to me. It's really frustrating to me when my words get twisted, because I am a deeply, deeply, deeply honest person. I don't lie. I don't lie about my feelings ever. I am straightforward as hell. Unless it's like about sparing somebody's feelings, not hurting anybody, being polite, whatever. But when it comes to my feelings, how I'm feeling, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you exactly what I want. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. For me to be told that that's not how it is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And this has happened mostly with men. This has all been men that I have been in rotation with. And it's I had this, hey, if you're watching this and this is about you, I'm very sorry. But I was on a date with a guy from the States, and I hope this is not TMI, but honestly, I don't care. And we were talking a lot, and we agreed on like going on a date and whatever. And I was like, hey, my schedule is really busy. I'm really packed. I have this and this and that. But if I can spontaneously like squeeze you in, I will. And I will let you know. And I will meet you that evening. And then after that, we agreed on meeting on a Sunday. And after that, for like the rest couple of days, up until that Sunday, he just became really cold. And he just started giving very short answers. And I didn't think much of it because I couldn't care less. But on the Sunday of the date, I was like, hey, okay, so I do have time actually, so I'm going to be there at this and this and that time. Does that work for you? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure, like whatever. Then we met, we did what we did, and then I went back home, like 1 a.m. or whatever. It was like a super busy day for me. I was exhausted. And when I got home, he texted me like, honestly, like I thought you weren't going to show. I thought, like, that you were trying to let me down gently by saying that you are super busy and stuff. And I was like, okay, I see, I understand having trust issues, and I understand, like, I don't know, I get it, I do, but just ask. Just be straightforward. If you have a worry with somebody and you have the feeling that they are not being truthful to you, ask. Like, ask. I am begging you, just ask the question. Literally, miscommunication is the most, like, it's my biggest pet peeve. I hate it so fucking much. I hate it so much. Is pet peeve the right word for that? Okay, yes, it is the right word. Thank you, Google. Where was I with that? Yeah, it's my biggest pet peeve when somebody, like, would rather be pissed at you because they think they know what you think than just like outright ask you if that's what you're thinking and getting like a legitimate answer in the process. Oh my god, there's nothing I hate more than people that can't communicate. That's a whole other thing though. And that, yeah, of course, also leads to, you know, having to turn down people when things don't necessarily work out, or if you end up not being interested after all, or they happen to catch feelings and you feel like turning them down because you have communicated once more that that's not what you're looking for, and still people don't believe it, don't understand it, don't want to understand it, and think that they can change your mindset, which my mindset will change. You know, maybe at some point I do want to date again, but right now I am telling you how I feel. And if you are not willing to like just let me exist that way, then why are you even engaging with me? Like, go look for somebody that is looking for the same thing as you. Don't pretend that you are okay with my needs and my wants when you are clearly not. When you are in the back of your head, you're like, I can change her, I can make her fall in love with me. Whatever it is that you're thinking, that is fucking villain behavior, dude. Like, leave me alone, you know, leave me alone. I don't understand. I don't understand. But maybe that's just men in general. I don't, God forbid a woman wants, like, doesn't want commitment. Holy shit. Like, you know, it's like they latch on to you They think you're cool, they think you're engaging whatever the fuck it is, and they're like, I want that one, like a little belonging, and I want to put her in my room and look at her from afar, and then also she's an object. You know. Another thing is that since all of my breakups that I have gone through in my life, and all the work that I've been doing on myself, and all the dating that I've been doing on and off, I have a certain list. I don't want to say like an actual list, but I recommend anybody that is like, that just falls into the pattern of loving somebody just for the sake of loving somebody, to make a list of things that you find attractive, whether that was in past partners or you know, just partners that you wish you had, like something you wish for in a partner. And I'm not talking at all about physical things, like not at all. Sure, you can have your preferences there as well, but that's not what I mean. I mean, I want my partner, for example, to be extremely funny, to be on the same wavelength as me, to be just as funny as I am. God, I have not met anybody like that in years. Like, you know, my last relationship was, we worked together so well when it came to humor. That was truly like one of the best things about our relationship, I think. I do not mean this to boost his ego, but I have not been with like a funny dude since. And of course, like, I haven't actively been seeking to be with anybody, so of course I didn't really like find anybody that matches that, but just wanting that and knowing that that's something I need in a relationship makes it so much easier to visualize it, and when other things, you know, happen, to be like, yeah, that's not somebody I would ever date anyway, you know. And but at the same time, that makes it like almost sets my future partner at this impossible level, like that is so hard to reach. And I am tolerant, you know, and I think my wishes are not like extreme or anything. I want them to be very funny. I want them to be emotionally intelligent, which is also a question of mine. Does that exist at the same time? Can I be with a guy that is very funny, while at the same time they are very emotionally intelligent? Is that a real concept? It feels like in my age group it's not, but also I think it's just not when it comes to men, you know. And I'm not straight, so if I'm talking about guys, it's just the last couple of dates I've been on, and the last like 1 or 2 relationships I've had were with guys. But yeah, that's not necessarily my preference, it's just what's been happening. Yeah, I don't think you can ever be satisfied with men, personally, but you know, sometimes I too fall into the trap of craving male validation, and then I land in these stupid situations. Another thing, well, I have this imaginary like inner list, knowing what my partner should be like as a person for me to love them and enjoy them fully. I also need them to have done the inner work, right? Because I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to journal when I don't feel good. I'm going to analyze said journal entries. I am going to sit down with my friends, talk about my feelings over and over and over again until I fully understand them, until I know where they're probably coming from. Hey, you know, I'm describing therapy. I'm not currently in therapy, but doing inner work on yourself, understanding and analyzing your feelings is so important. And so many people don't do that. And it's so hard to meet somebody that has done that. I haven't. To this day, I can't say that I have, except for my friends, which I'm not romantically interested in. But any person that I was like attracted to, it was very apparent at a certain point of whatever conversation we were having that they have never like really done a lot of inner work. Which immediately like also puts them in this box of, oh God, they're not even like, they wouldn't even be ready for a relationship if they wanted to be, you know. It's like, I'm never gonna put myself through that, where I date somebody again that is so emotionally unintelligent that it just causes me to become the parental role in the relationship, that causes me to be like, hey, I think you're not telling me things right. I think you're not feeling okay. I think you need to communicate this better. And while I am going to be patient and loving and caring with my partner when the time arises, I am not going to fall back into the role of being a mother. I am not going to do that. I refuse to do that. And you might call me evil for that. I am going to be caring and as loving as I can. But if you refuse to like have even just a conversation about your feelings and why you feel that way, I don't really see the point in being in a relationship. If you can't be in touch with your emotions like that, why are you in a relationship? Why do you want to be in a relationship? What's the point? Just because you're lonely? That's just not a reason enough to me. Another point is dating apps. I have been on them on and off, mostly for, these last couple of people I've been with, and just to go on dates, whatever. And I am a firm believer of the fact that you don't find love on dating apps. I don't think so. I've never met a partner before that I met through a dating app. And if I did, I think 2 of my exes I met on dating apps, maybe 3. And that just never worked out for very long. It was always half a year max. And that's half a year relationship is nothing. You learn a lot, you suffer a lot. But it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's just there. It's just there, and it's there to learn, and it's there to observe yourself and figure out what didn't work out. Every relationship, I think, is important, no matter how long or how short. But yeah, a 6-month relationship is not going to shape my entire life. It's going to shape an aspect of my life. It's going to give me an opportunity to observe what I did wrong, what the other person did that I didn't like, etc., etc. And hopefully, by observing these patterns, learning to break them. The other day, I was on TikTok, funny enough, and I saw this TikTok that I sadly cannot find anymore. But it was basically this person being like, hey, when you're attracted to somebody and you think you might have caught feelings for them, are you attracted to the fact that they like you, or are you attracted to them as a person? Do you like them as a person? And for some reason, for me, that distinction was always hard to make. With people that I actually dated, I of course actually liked the person, but I feel like I am often infatuated with people in, I wouldn't call them situationships or anything, but dating people on and off, whatever. And those types of people, I feel like I don't particularly care for them as when it comes to who they are. This sounds really harsh. I don't mean this in a harsh way. I don't mean this in a detached and asshole-ish way. What I mean is that at the end of the day, what I really like about talking to these people is the aspect of being desired or liked more than, being with them. Because there's a reason I didn't ask you out. There's a reason I didn't ask you to be my partner. It's because I like the attention you're giving me, but I'm not into you like that. And I haven't been into anybody like that since my last relationship. And that was a harsh realization, because I was always like, oh yeah, always have crushes on people. I always think people are attractive, and then I end up engaging with them. I will see somebody in my studies and be like, oh my gosh, this person is very hot, very cute, whatever. And I love when they think of me that way back. And then whatever happens, and then you're in this situation, and it happens over and over again. And I'm like, why do I do that? Like, it's not about me being emotionally attached to them. It's about me being attracted to them, and the aspect of having somebody that I find attractive being attracted to me as well brings me pleasure, right? Brings me, makes me happy. And a lot of the times that's just like not enough for people, you know, like mutual attraction, both being funny, like having a good time, hanging out, being friends while also doing other things together. People are oftentimes not okay with that. They oftentimes want more of me, or they want less of me, and that's just not gonna work. You know, that's just not gonna work, because that's not what I communicated. And why are you making this so hard on me? It's like, I'm trying my best to be open, to be communicative, to be me and be honest, because I wouldn't be a good partner right now. If we dated, I wouldn't be a good partner to you. Whether that is because I would suddenly become obsessed with making sure everything in your life is going well more than I would in my life, and suddenly I'm in the caretaker role again, or just the fact that I don't have the energy to constantly be there for somebody at the moment. I just don't have that. I don't have that in me, and I couldn't give you that even if I tried, and I don't want to try. And I have to admit that to myself in order not to lead anybody on. So I am trying to communicate as transparently as I can with everyone. And then, is it because I'm on the spectrum? Am I hard to, like, is it hard to understand what I think and how I feel when I communicate to a partner? I don't know. I am genuine. I understand there's people that lie about these things, that gaslight people, that do this and this and that. I understand having trust issues. I understand that very, very well. But why, like, do I strike you as the person that is going to lie to you about this? Like, if I say I don't want anything serious, why would I? Why would you assume I did? If if I say I don't want a romantic relationship, why would you ask me a week or two later if I wanted to? If I said, I don't know, that I only am interested in like sleeping together, going on dates, why would you hit me with, it was super unclear like what your intentions were, you never told me that you didn't want a relationship whatsoever? What do you mean? Why are you snapping at me? I am communicating my intentions very well, and if there's any signs of unclarity, ask. I just ask a question. Like, it's okay. I'm not going to like snap your neck in half. I'm not going to ghost you. I am a very conversational person, you know, and people tend to not be, and that is just very frustrating. I hope I'm not making myself seem like a total asshole here. I am just genuinely frustrated with my love life, or lack thereof. Like, I would love to have people to love in my life that, you know, were okay with being friends and all that. And to some extent there is people like that in my life, but then there's always miscommunication that makes things so incredibly hard. But yeah, also another thing I realized is that I don't really know if I have a type anymore. I know what I look for in a person, but I also know what I don't look for in a person. And I used to have a type back when I was a little younger, which means a year ago or longer than that, or even before that, I mean. But now my type is somebody that can communicate and that is funny, and that is so sad that it has come to that, you know, that it's like that's not even the bare minimum. That's like below the bare minimum. That's like the human empathy 101. You know what I mean? It's like how to be a human being. I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to come on here and talk about that a little bit because it's just been on my mind a lot, and maybe it could also offer somebody else clarity that feels a similar way or that is going through something similar. I had a friend come up to me at a party last week and telling me that my last YouTube video really helped them. So that also motivated me to just hop in front of the camera again. Yeah. I hope this was in any way, shape, or form entertaining for you. I'm going to go to bed now because I have work tomorrow. Did that curl well? Yeah. I love doing that. I love just doing the ends. And hopefully next time I can talk about something like, I really don't know. This is what I mean. I don't have anything to share at the moment. I'm okay. I'm good. Maybe I could tell you about books I read and stuff, but I haven't gone shopping or anything in a really long time. There's nothing I really purchase like that. And if I do, I don't really feel like talking about it because it would feel like pushing consumerism onto you. And I know what it's like when you're really, really into somebody and their online presence, and you have like a parasocial relationship with them to the point where when they advertise a product, you want it too, and it makes you feel closer to that person, or makes you feel more like that person because you look up to them. And I have made countless such purchases with a lot of people that I look up to and that I think are cool, and so I don't want to do that to anybody. So I don't like talking about things that I buy. So figuring out what to talk about has been a little bit hard because a lot of the things I do are connected to objects. Okay, that's enough yapping for me. Have a lovely day, evening, night, whatever, and I will see you soon.